Hi guys, welcome to this video about my Timberwall XL project which I did a couple of weeks ago. Here you see the panels which I've been using, Timberwall XL. These are peel and stick panels from Europe. They look like this. They come in some different textures, but they can be combined really easily. So this is the raw material, and I'm going to show you now how the work looks like. So this is the wall, how it looks as it's finished now, more or less. I haven't put on the trims, as you can see here on the side. I put it on a mirror. It was a full the whole wall was a mirror, and it had some double mirrors, so I had to make it flat, so I removed the extra mirrors, of course. So here we go into more detail. You can see some cutouts which I've done. So yeah, it was not too difficult to cut all these things. Here also an outlet. The thing is, yeah, they are not super flat. So that's the main issue. It's a really natural wood. I go to wide angle again. This is really natural wood. This is no plastic as I thought at the beginning. So you will end up with some minor issues. So I'm going to show you like this one here. So this is not made by an error. You can press harder than it will release the thing on the top. It's just bent. It's a little bit like this. So it can't be flat here or attached here and here. It can only be attached at some place, and you have to be difficult when sticking these panels to the wall, that you try to attach them first in the middle, so like you don't end up like this or like this. So this is a special situation. Sometimes you have panels which are bent here like this and the other side opposite, so you can't, it's really difficult to make it to attach them in the middle, because you see on the other side it's exactly the opposite. Hope you can see that. That's a little bit difficult. So yeah, here it has a gap on the top. On this side it has one at the bottom. So all the panels have their special texture. They are a little bit bent in all kind of directions, but pretty much the thing is they are mostly like straight here, not perfectly. There are some small gaps in between. I hope maybe you can see this. I ended up with some small gaps in between, but it's really hard to see them. So maybe I have some bigger ones, can't remember. I think there was one at the bottom here, probably. Yeah, these are the biggest ones. You can see shining through the mirror a little bit, but not too much. So the main concern from me was that they won't stick for the whole time. So some people have been saying they put them on the wall and after some time they started falling off the wall. So what I did, I didn't rely on the stick thing, like the self-stick thing, but I put also some extra glue dots with silicone or at all the corners, or at least, like I say, here you have a panel, I put at least like some silicone drops at all the four corners, and also somewhere in the middle, like yeah, here, and of course at the end. And then I sticked them to the wall with the self-adhesive paper. And yeah, I always tested. After a couple of days I tried to push them down, and there were still some kind of shaky, or some kind of not stable, and I was a little bit concerned. But I tested every day, and now after about 2 weeks or so, they have been really stable. So none of the panels came off the wall, and they are really at least 90% of them are really they stick really hard. They don't move at all, even when we have some strong movement in regarding humidity. Sometimes we have really high humidity, then it drops, and yeah, because it's natural wood, I was a little bit scared. But now I think after 2 weeks, it took a really long time to dry this silicone, but probably it was due because of the reason that I have glued it on a mirror, so there was not much air to dry, and so I needed a lot of time. So, but after 2 weeks, they are pretty stable now, and I'm really confident that they will stay in place for a long time. So the thing is, how I did that, I started at the bottom, how it is, as it is recommended. So maybe I was a little bit too close. You have to leave a gap in case the panels shrink or expand during with the humidity. And yeah, so I started from left to right, all the way down, like on the left side, and then like here, second row, again to the right, third row, and so on. And then I came to the top, and what I did, yeah, no, I forgot to tell you, I also did the thing on the right side of the door. So that was a little bit a problem. I shouldn't have done this, because I had to match left and right side on top of the door, and that didn't really fit 100%. I can show you here. There are some things which are not perfect. Nobody has ever realized that it's not perfect, but I was lucky not to have more problems. But the best thing is, of course, if you have something like this, when you do like you start on the left side of the door, if you have a door, and then then work to the top, and then you go over the door and then down the right side. What's important to say, how did I choose the pieces? I tried always to have like a white piece, and then a black piece, and then so on, and again black, white, and so on. And so I think it's not perfect. I mean, it can't be perfect, but I ended up with some kind of even color, or yeah, it looks really natural, nothing unnatural. Of course, there are some panels which have some strange texture, like from cutting, and I tried to avoid these things. Here we have one. So here you see from the saw, from cutting, I didn't realize this with on this panel. Most of them I put on the side. Here we have another one too. Yeah, I didn't realize it on this one too, but for most of the panels, when I saw something like this, I put it on the side, because this looks a little bit Yeah, not so natural, but nobody ever realized these things. So it's pretty easy. What I have to tell you before putting on the cutting marks, put the panels, I can really recommend, put the panels there where you want to have it and check all the gaps and like the bending. So some of them are bent like this and some of them are bent to the outside. So you can also try to match them, that you don't have these huge gaps in between. And yeah, put them there, and if you think it matches the color or it looks good, so you turn them around and then you apply, like when you have to cut like here, you turn it around and put on a mark with a pencil, and then you make the cutting mark, and you put it back then, and you check again with the cutting mark if it's okay, and where you have to cut, like on the cutting mark, or left or right, or right in the middle, or wherever. So that also helps. And I've been cutting with jigsaw, battery jigsaw. That was really easy to do. So what's also important, that on the right side, so we are now on the right side of the door, and what I did, I have been also cutting most of the pieces, at least I have been using whole panels just in every third or fourth row. Like here we have a full panel, I can make it larger. Here we have a full panel, but if you use all the full panel, like uncutted panels, one after each, then one on top of each, then it looks a little bit silly if you have just cutted pieces on the left and uncutted pieces on the right side of the door. I've seen this in a sample and it looks really strange. So I recommend to have most of the lines like put together. And I had some, when you have, like you are finished on the left side, you are just here, and actually you had a full length, and the next thing would be also full length, then just cut it in the middle, even when it's not needed, just cut it and use a piece from another panel to have something like here, where you see it looks like, you had here the panel and here a different panel with a different like different color, different texture. You can use the rest of this piece like here down, so you have some variation, and it looks much more natural when you have them cut, even when it's not needed, like here where you have just a short length where you could put whole panels. So at the end, I mean, it's only 2 weeks ago. Some panels are really not sticking perfectly. I push them back, but on this whole wall there are just about 2 or 3 panels which I'm still working on. But since it's a mirror behind, I'm a little bit scared to try to pull them out and glue again and pull them back. So I don't want to break the mirror. Probably it had been a good idea to remove the mirror, but I was scared about this. So yeah, I think, but actually probably I will find a solution for that. Maybe I will just pull them out and put a little bit of glue behind, or silicone, and push them back. So I think it will be good on the long term. I don't see any major issue, and even when when they do not perfectly stick, I'm still happy. So I'm not a professional, I'm more like an office worker, but it was really easy to do the whole thing. You have to only be careful. You have to be careful when you stick the things to the drywall or mirror or whatever you have. These self-adhesive sticks are really strong. So you have to align them before you push them on the wall. Align them really, put them down on the existing panel down here, and align them here like a little bit outside to have it perfectly, and only then push it to the wall. Because if it's not perfectly aligned and you push it to the wall, it's almost impossible, at least for some pieces, to pull them out again. I've been trying with one panel, I was not satisfied, I was not able to pull it out, it was perfectly sticking. So yeah, you have to be really careful about this. If you have drywall, probably it's easier to remove it, but if you have like a mirror, so the self-stick thing is so strong, yeah, you're gonna be a hard time to remove it. So yeah, that's about it. I will do another video about where I'm commenting some pictures which I made during the work, where I will show you how to cut, how to put on the marks. I already mentioned that I used a pencil because all other things were not sticking to the cover sheet of the self-adhesive tape in the back. So yeah, of course I'm not 100% finished. I didn't put any grout to the side or no trim also to the door. I have to think about, I'm still thinking about what I will do. I'm not decided yet what I will do exactly, but of course I will have to do something, otherwise you will see the black part or the dark part of the mirror, and I can't leave it like this. And also the door I will replace, that's part of the old mirror wall. It looks still silly, and you see the mess in the back. We are still painting and replacing all the lighting, at least the ceiling lighting. So it's a little bit still a mess, but the wall itself, it's finished and I'm happy. And yeah, I really can recommend doing this. Just make sure that you have enough panels and also some spare panels in case they discontinue it, and if you have replaced at the end some panels, so you have the same size, same texture. I have been in contact with the manufacturer and asked them, because I haven't found them on the store again, and I've asked them and they said they will do this again, same texture, but they will do it in another size, I think smaller. They will do it smaller. So it's a good thing I have 2 or 3 packages left in case I will need them to replace. So I hope I was able to help you with that a little bit. If you have any questions, just write to the comment section below. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.